Hey, tax people. I know people do it every year. They go and they will move and take their W 2s and all of their information from person to person. Some people will go and buy TurboTax because they want to make sure they get the greatest refund and return that they can get. They've thought about it, they've said and planned what they would do with that money. And so the idea of not getting that money is like crazy to them. And don't think I'm above that or that I don't understand, because I do. But I understand even better that instead of waiting on that money every year, you can plan and you can make sure that you don't have to pay and that you're doing something all year rather than rolling the dice and hoping that your money comes out the way you want. Number one, go back to your tax preparer. Ask them, is there anything I can do that I should be aware of for next year? If you don't even do it now, do it by mid-year, by June, when it's really time that when you really have time to change stuff. See, as a bookkeeper, and a corporate, when I do corporations, they close out every month. That is a way to review what they've made and to make sure if there is something that they need to do, they can change it from month to month. As an individual, that's the same way you need to do with your taxes. I did a couple of videos where I said taxes are done all year. And this is what I mean. You manage your money all year, periodically. You don't wait till the end of the year, roll the dice, and hope everything works out. I don't expect you to understand tax law. I'm not even asking you to read tax law. I don't want you to have to worry about tax law, but I want you to understand what you need to do to manage your money, which is why I do the videos, which is why I take time with my clients. I explain, I talk to them, and I follow it up with an email because I know I'm giving a lot of information that you're not used to dealing with. When they changed the tax laws in 2018, they also changed the W-4. It is a form that has never been changed, or at least not changed for at least 30 to 40 years. I know I was looking at the same one when I started working at 14. And now the W-4 asks you more intrusive questions. It asks about how many dependents, is very plainly written, and it gives them a great idea, so they're not taking out as much taxes as they used to. Some of you may have noticed, if you even compare, if you review, if you watch, you probably say, oh, I'm bringing home a little bit more money. Now, while it's more, it's not a lot more, and it doesn't seem to be a lot more. But if you multiply that amount by 26, which is usually the number of paychecks you receive if you're being paid bi-weekly, and if you add that up, that would all work out, and it would help you to reduce your tax debt. On the flip side, the same way it would reduce your tax debt, when it's not being taken out, it's going to add to your tax debt. In other words, you will underpay the IRS. And by the end of the year, when you're used to receiving a refund, now you're having to pay. The worst part of that is that if that continues, if that trend continues from year to year, the IRS will penalize you for holding their money. They can hold our money and give it back to us without a return on interest, which is what we call a refund. And we're excited about it, but it's really them holding our money. But when we withhold their money, they will, and it happens for consecutive years, they will start to assess you a penalty. So what I'm saying to you is get in front of it. You don't want to pay back. That's something you don't want to do. Nobody wants to do that. Nowhere in your mind do you sit and go, well, in case I have to pay them back, I'm going to start a savings account. That's just not happening. And it doesn't make sense, especially when you can pay them all year. So if you cannot fix your W-4, if they say, if your job says, well, I have to report it this way, I can't fix it, I can't change it, or whatever, then make sure that every 2 weeks when you get paid, that you look at your pay stub. And if you are making 40,000, if you get up and it says, okay, year to date you've made 4,500, your federal withholding should be $450. That's what you want it to be, to make sure that you don't have to pay back. That's the minimum. Now, you can still have to pay back even at the 10%, but that 10% is pretty close to keeping and making sure you don't have to pay back. And right now, I see a lot of people, and you're not having enough money withheld, and people are coming up short. And so they're going from place to place. Oh, would you mind if you give me my stuff back, and I'll call you when I'm ready to file? We all know what that means. That means you're shopping around because you want to hear something better. And I get it. The bad part is that you don't stop to understand or ask questions. A lot of people say, well, I didn't make as much money, but you also didn't have the right percentages. It's not necessarily the amount, but it's the percentages that you need to watch. No, it's not your stimulus. That didn't change your tax status. It is the percentages that are being withheld. So maybe before COVID, you made $75,000, and maybe, you didn't have to pay back, you got more. And after COVID, you may have made $40,000. You're like, how do I have to pay? Because the percentage of withholding is not enough to satisfy your debt or the amount the IRS would assess someone who makes the amount of money you made. It is formulas and it is tables. It's not magic and, oh, this company can get me more and we know more savvy rules. No, this stuff is pre-done, so you don't have to wait to the end of the year, and you don't have to shop around. It's not a gimmick. It is something that can be managed, and it goes right along with managing your money. You have no idea, once you start managing your money, the things that you'll look at, the way you can evaluate yourself, and the things that you can change that you never even thought about. So it doesn't just help you tax-wise. It helps you all the way around to be conscious about your spending, to be intentional about what you do, to understand, to make sure you're putting the money where you want to, and to make sure that you're living the life you want to all year and not just one time a year. It's been your girl, the Queen Bee of Doing Business Better, and I'm telling you, I just want you to win. I put the knowledge out here. If it's anything that helps you, subscribe to the page, to my YouTube channel. Tell somebody, pass it on. We do not want to keep losing in the battle of money management. We can't afford to. Love you guys. Bye-bye.